And if you just joined us here at SMR TV, this is our lunch break segment where we go across the show floor, chat to delegates, chat to really good exhibits, but we also try to get some of the insights of the talks that have been recorded, however, have not been live streamed live here in the next 2 days, but will be available for you as an SMR member over the next few weeks. And that's why I'm currently joined by Antoine Moreau. You're a partner of SLVP in France.
LPV Analytics, yes, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
Welcome. And you just did this morning, 11:15, and the green stage in the other hall, a presentation called How the Internet of Things Will Save the Planet. Very capturing title. But it's actually about, I think, a quite significant piece of research that where you, if I summarize it correctly, where you're basically validating current European legislation, right?
Yes, we are trying to see if you display in real time the energy consumption of people, we are trying to save energy. That's what we try to show.
And if I understood correctly, that was triggered because that is now a rule in Europe that energy suppliers should have the data available to the consumers.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a rule in order for the, well, at first it was just to have the invoices more quickly, but also it's in order to have the consumer consume less. Absolutely, yeah.
So you were set out and then, okay, so how are we going to validate this assumption? What did you do?
Well, we did first some sort of very traditional research. We recruited a panel, which we equipped with some devices, IoT devices, and we monitor and we measured the consumption and the temperature for 1 year across 3,000 panelists, 3,000 households. And then we could display in real time the electricity consumption to each household, and we could check if they were indeed making savings or not. And they were actually.
And they were. Yeah. You already gave away the scoop. Just for our viewers who are maybe like IoT, I'm always a bit cautious with the abbreviations. IoT is Internet of Things. How that in this case it's because these are online, these meters, so you guys could real time collect your data and already start analyzing.
Yes, so each household had lots of different captors. One captor on the meter that would capture the electricity consumption, and then two other captors, one inside the home for temperature and hygrometry, and another one outside the home for outside temperature and outside the hygrometry. And all the data are transmitted by radio to a tablet, and then the tablet is sending the data to a central server. So that's why we can collect the data in real time and give it back to the consumer in real time.
Yeah, and at the same time already start to interpret and validate your models.
Yes, well, it takes a little bit of time to validate the model, but still we could do that.
Yeah, because if I go through your paper, that's what's really sticking out to me. I would summarize as it's quite technical, and I guess that's the message here. If you start using these different data sources, and especially these automated data sources, it seems that a lot of effort will be put in building the right, you even refer to it as an econometric model in order to get the right answers.
Yes. All this is not free. You know, it's not collected via questionnaire, but the cost is somewhere else. The cost is in the storage, because it's a huge volume of data. The cost is in the analytics, and so you have to think. So it's pretty technical because we wanted to be transparent and to explain how we did that. We also have some. I think nice results on the analytics, but yes, it's it does not come for free. You know, you have to work a lot to understand and to have some results on this.
And if you look back at this project, what have been some of the main challenges that you guys had to overcome along the way?
The main challenges are the fact that it's first the volume of the data. Okay, it's huge, so you have to have good processes in order to analyze this data. I think that's the first challenge. The second was setting up the model. You know, it's not. We did some very traditional stuff. We did some machine learning stuff, and all this. You know, it's not, the machine is not working by itself. So you have to work a little bit about that. And I think there was quite some interesting challenges in setting up the model. So if you read into the paper, we try to write about that, and so these were the main challenges for us.
And do you feel that this is now you've gone all through this, is this easily replicable in other kind of research projects?
Oh yes, yes. I think we have used techniques that are very common. It's just all the standard techniques. There is no black box. It's all the standard techniques that every people can use now. Except that, of course, you have to set up the design and to set up the collection, the data collection, and that's quite a work.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge, and I guess that's really hopeful. I've been just chatting to Prerit Sauda, who just came from the artificial intelligence session. We heard some dooms speak about the market researcher being abundant because the artificial intelligence and robots are going to do everything. But I guess in that light, your paper shows that there's actually a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. I don't think that artificial intelligence can do everything. Well, and anyway, behind artificial intelligence, you have humans. So you have to define the codes, to write the codes for the artificial intelligence to work. So anyway, it's not replacing. I think it's something different, but it's not replacing.
Exactly. Well, Antoine, to finalize, the next step. What is the next step forward in using because we're going to see more and more of these Internet of Things devices, connected devices that produce data real time. What is the next step for market researchers?
I think the next step is to think about this data and about data privacy. We collected lots of data about these households, and you know everything about them. You know when they shower, you know when they go to sleep, when they wake up, you know everything. You know when they open the fridge.
Exactly. That nitty-gritty.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and we really, as market researchers, have to think what we should do about this data. There is a huge issue about data privacy, and that's for me, that's really a very important step for us to think about.
And is that currently just an ethical and theoretical challenge, or did you already run into some problems in this project also?
We indeed had some. Well, we were very careful about the data privacy, but we encountered some issues.
Can you share an example?
Do you have time? For that?
Just to round off.
Yeah. Okay. So it was that I could monitor from my home the hygrometer on just which was outside my place, and so I could see that my garden was watered at noon because I could see that the hygrometer was going up. The hygrometry was going up, so it was wet, and so it means that the concierge was watering the garden at noon, which she was not supposed to do.
She was not aware that you could monitor her like
she was not aware, so
So she got fired.
She didn't, because I didn't say
No, I'm just joking. All right. Yeah, but this is an example of stuff that data goes to places where we're not aware, and that's exactly what the GDPR tries to tackle. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We should be very careful of that, I think.
All right. Well, Antoine, thank you very much for sharing these little insights. Very hands-on project, very practical tips inside your paper, and it's going to be available for SMR members right after Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
In the meantime, we're going to explore a little bit more of this SMR Congress lunch break, and we're going through the expos. Neda, if I'm correctly informed, you moved back into the pink room this time.
Hi Harriet, yes, that is correct. I'm back to the Pink exhibition, and I'm back to the Dome, which is our tech and innovation area this year. And I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update of what's been going on. We had a fantastic first day yesterday, really interesting session, full packed Dome. Basically, it's going really, really well. We had a growth hacking session, which has been really interesting. And today, actually, one of our key companies that have been presenting for us is a virtual reality startup, and here I have Santer, who is part of the team. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should stop talking. Tell us what your company is all about.
So basically, we're Snake Productions. So I'm co-founder of the company, and what we did is we created a social music VR experiences with the intention to connect people in VR and connect them via the universal language of music. Most of the VR experiences are now just for one person who is closed down in their own environment, but we wanted to and broaden that and make it like a social VR experience. And with our experience, somebody from Tokyo, San Francisco and Amsterdam being physically at their location, but being virtual in the same environment and can basically create electronic music. That's basically what we did 20 years ago in our garage with our friends, but via this way you can do this in an international level. So everybody who likes to create music can do this with our platform.
That sounds really, really exciting. Actually, I had the chance to try this myself a few weeks ago, and I gotta tell you, it's fantastic. Your company is called Block Rocking Beats.
Yeah, that's the platform, and our company is Snake Productions. Yeah, that's correct.
Fantastic. So Block Rocking Beats, that's a really, really exciting new product. And you guys are a startup based here in the Netherlands.
We're based in Amsterdam at the co-working space B Amsterdam, together with 40 other startups, which is it's a really nice, lively, creative environment with people from all different disciplines. And basically, we're mainly focused on creating virtual reality, augmented reality, and interactive installations. For instance, for brand activations, for brands like Samsung, HTC, ABN. So yeah.
And as a startup, of course, it's always very exciting and of course challenging to start such a cool new product.
Yeah.
What kind of support, if there's somebody out there watching, partnership?
So we're really looking into electronic dance music labels and basically famous DJs who want to hook up with the platform, because the interesting part of it is that you can create your live jam, but also live broadcast it on Facebook and YouTube and reach your target audience worldwide. So that's, I think, a really interesting way for a new, innovative way of doing your performances next to the festivals where we probably want to be at, just having fun. But next to that, on Wednesday evenings, Thursday evenings, you still can have other VR festivals like that. So.
It's really, really cool. And is it accessible already to summer?
It's now being sold at the Steam platform. It supports the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. And we're in contact with PlayStation to also support that platform. So then, we support all the big platforms. We're now in Steam Early Access, so it's kind of like a beta phase, and together with the community we're building the platform further. And the idea is before holiday season, we basically finish the product and hope to jam on.
That's fantastic, and we're really, really happy to actually have you here, because it's very inspirational for us to have companies beyond the market research industry to kind of bring in extra inspiration and extra interesting products. So it's really, really cool to have you here with us.
Great to be here.
And how are you experiencing the event so far?
Yeah, the funny thing is we're not totally really marketing research related, but we get really nice conversations with people or inspiring them basically with the possibilities with VR, like having multiple people in one room. The interesting part is you can track everything with a VR headset. If you combine it also with eye tracking, then basically we can record how long a person is looking at product A, product B, and analyze that and make a 360 heat map out of that one. So I definitely see interesting collaboration possibilities. Yeah.
Fantastic. So to all of you that are within the market research industry, definitely check this out, because there might be some possible partnership there, and a really cool product. I absolutely loved it when I tried it. It's just fascinating. You just really go into a different world. So really cool stuff, and it's really great to have you. And you have a background in music yourself?
Yeah, exactly. We're passionate musicians. Like 20 years ago, we did a lot of jams with the analog stuff, so really the synthesizers and drum computers. Later on moved a bit to software tooling. And with that passion and the possibilities of this new medium like virtual reality, combining that and make it a platform where everybody can create music who likes to do that, that's super interesting for us.
What an inspiring story, really, just combining your hobby and your passion and technology. It's really cool. To those of you that are here and are watching this, come by the Dome and check it out. And for the rest of you, check this awesome new product. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. So I don't know, Harriet, if I need to keep exploring.
No, definitely not, because
Perfect.
I'm currently joined here by someone who's also following his hobby and his passion, I think, if we see the energy of this man both on stage and with you. So I'm here joined by Finn Raben, and we're going to chat a little bit, Finn, about, we've been hearing you on the Blue Stage yesterday in the general opening about the 70th anniversary, about the origin of this association. Let's see what our next steps are. In your opening video, your beautiful opening video, narrated by a very famous narrator.
Irishman, yes, indeed. Yeah, I can't remember who he was, but yes.
It says, let's make September the 10th, 2017, Amsterdam the starting point in history where 10, 20, 30 years from now, we look back and say, hey, this is where a new era began. Let's explore that new era.
Well, I mean, I think the theme of this year's Congress is visionary, of course, and the underlying principle of that is, of course, change. And I think for those of you that have seen a little bit of the way the place is set up, it is a change. And indeed, what we're broadcasting today is a change. And by the way, I'm just going to take 2 seconds to plug these guys, LOE, because they are absolutely brilliant. They are truly amazing. So if any of you are out there and want to do this kind of stuff, talk to these guys. They're fantastic.
Thank you very much.
No, but it is, I mean, I'm being quite serious. It is about changing the way we communicate with people. It's about changing the way we measure people and adapting and using all the new technologies. And we are, researchers are kind of a pretty conservative bunch sometimes, and we kind of like the comfort zone. And this Congress, we've tried to kind of move them out of the comfort zone a little bit with the way it's set up, the way the stages are set. And I think we have to recognize that our industry, as Vanessa said yesterday, is changing and has changed. And we've got to kind of stop fighting it and just accepting it and living with it and moving on with it and developing it.
Well, as an outsider, I must say, I've had the privilege to be with you guys for 3 years now. And if we look in the first 3 years, first year was Dublin for me.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came out of that as an external team, we felt like, whoa, these guys are beating themselves up, right? It was all doomsday and it's the end of the market research community. And if you look what's going on now, it's much more upbeat, it's much more optimistic. All of a sudden we get all these talks of people actually embracing new technologies, showing and discovering the added value of a market researcher.
Yeah, and it's I think it was we had a meeting on Friday with some of the CEOs of the main companies in our industry, and there was quite an interesting phrase used at that meeting, which was, an anxious industry is not a developing industry. And I think in Dublin there was quite an amount of anxiety. There were an awful lot of doomsayers saying, oh yeah, we're dead, market research is dead. Whereas actually we're not. Data science is actually research under another name. Many of you out there may disagree with me, but we are the guys that know data best. And as we are now all drowning in data, again, I think it is market researchers or insight professionals or data scientists who will be the ones who will help you to find what small piece of that huge ocean of data is relevant to answering the question that's at hand. And yes, we have to embrace technology because that'll help us find and to process that bit of data. And we should stop kind of thinking, oh God, remember the good old days? Yeah.
We had paper surveys.
Exactly. And
a lot of hours to bill.
Yes. And lots of acetate presentations, and these things kind of slept sliding off the kind of the old hot lamp projector that was in front of us. Things have changed. We've got to move on. And we do some really good stuff, as the presentations here, I think, have demonstrated.
Now, as the Director General of this organization, how is your organization going to move forward this to support the market research industry?
So I think with any association like ours, we can, we have aggressive and ambitious aims, but you can only ever move forward as fast as your slowest member, I guess. And we do want to ensure that the evolution towards the adoption of technology, the embracing of technology, but equally, the maintenance of rigor, it doesn't have to be the same kind of rigor as it was 20 years ago, but the quality of the data that you use should be always checked and controlled. And I know that for many people, that's just a hygiene factor. If I talk to you, I'm going to assume that the data's okay. But because there's so much of it out there, we've got to be a little bit more rigorous in checking to make sure it's the kind of stuff we ought to be using. So yeah, new technology, new methodologies, rigor, and of course, listening more and more to our members. One of the things that we're incredibly proud of, thanks to the work by our representatives and by the guys on council that have been focusing on it, is our growth in membership. And they're a hugely important source of information to us as to what we should be doing, what are the areas that they're being challenged with, because after all, we're here to serve them. So we've got to involve our representatives a bit more, understand what's going on in local markets. And at the same time, also keeping a kind of a cautious ear out for, what's happening at a legislative level. And, do we have to go and bang on a few doors in Brussels or Washington and try and make sure that all that stuff is also being looked after?
Yeah, because that's an important part and task of this association, the lobbying and staying in touch with legislation. In a minute, we're going to talk to Kim Smouter, so I think that's the perfect edge.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of everyone assumes that digital data is just always going to be there. But actually, governments have the possibility to switch it off if they get the laws wrong. And it's the kind of the boring part of the business. Nobody wants to say, yes, let's get up and talk for 3 days about privacy law. Neither do I guarantee you. But it is kind of an assumption that those things happen, and it doesn't. It takes an awful lot of hard work, and Kim will tell you more about that. They're a great team, and he really does a fantastic job. So,
What a nice pitch. Let's see if he's there already. Neda, are you ready with Kim and Enrique?
Hi, yeah, actually I am ready. I just grabbed Kim. Unfortunately, Enrique is not here with us, so it will only be my colleague Kim Smarter, but still really, really cool because he is the expert on anything to do with advocacy and professional standards. Thank you, Kim, for taking the time.
You're most welcome, Leda.
So you just came out of the gathering on secondary data and privacy that we organized here at Congress in parallel to the rest of the content. Tell us a little bit about how it went and what it was all about.
Yeah, no, it's the first time we're organizing the gathering on the future of privacy and secondary data. And we organize it with the GRBN, which is a partnership of national associations whom we work with. We had about 50 people in the room talking excitedly about privacy, the future GDPR, the future e-privacy regulation, but also talking about kind of how do we practically translate those really complicated laws into something that SMEs can implement as part of their research framework. So a really exciting day.
Fantastic. That sounds really, really cool. Why is this so important? Tell us about the impending importance of all of this.
It's really important in a number of ways. One is financial. So if you violate any of these laws, we're talking about 20 million euro fines or 4% of annual global turnover if you're a big company. So for a company like Google, we're talking billions of euros potentially. So financially, it's a huge deal. But also from a reputation perspective, because if people don't trust us with their data, they stop answering surveys, they stop participating in research, and when that happens, then our entire business stops happening.
Of course, absolutely. So this is really, really important to keep working on. And in that context, we've been hearing already throughout our conversations today, the buzzwords of GDPR and all of these things that are coming up. So what can we help with? What are the things that ESOMAR, what initiatives and products that ESOMAR is working on to help the community with all of these things?
Well, we are in the process of essentially updating all of our guidelines. So we're modernizing them to really deal with the new issues of big data and secondary data and really be up to date on that front. But we're also really excited because we are launching SMR Plus. It's our new consultancy service, really designed for the SME to accompany them in a one-to-one basis by providing resources like an external DPO service that they can use, that they can trust, but also by providing training, by providing one-to-one technical support to make sure that every company is equipped to comply to these new legislations. And that's something which SMR is bringing in the market, and it's live today. So just go to SMR Plus on the website and sign up.
That's fantastic. So to all of you that are watching, ESOMAR can help you further with all of your concerns and on anything to do with data privacy, professionalism, and anything related to that. So that's really, really exciting. If you have any questions, reach out to the team. And you are also working on a couple of other very interesting initiatives. For example, Research Choices, which is more about raising awareness among the wider audience. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? It's not necessarily related to what we're talking about, but I think it's still, in a sense, important maybe for our audience to know about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things which we're trying really hard is to evangelize research and to evangelize data, research, and insights. And so Research Choices is all about that. It's about connecting our industry with the general public, informing them what we do online, why online research is so important to them, and why it's important for them to continue participating in that. And Research Choices is an initiative which is open to any company who want to sign up and to show proudly that they are a Research Choices organization. And so that's indeed one of the things that we're doing. We also have the Eurekas project, which is a permanent call for best practice, real good examples of research, and we basically just do your marketing. We share to the rest of the world the fact that you've done a fantastic piece of research. It's helped your client or it's helped society, and we want to be proud alongside with you with the research that you do.
That's fantastic. So check both of these initiatives. If you have a success story within the market research industry that you'd like to share, send it over to us and check out the Research Choices initiative. Join and support because it's really important to keep raising this awareness. Final words, if there's anything you would like to tell our viewers in terms of anything to look out for or anything upcoming that they should keep in mind.
Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning that we have a number of regulations coming out of Europe which are really important. GDPR is the one which everybody's getting worried about because it's May 2018, but we also have e-privacy, and e-privacy is just as big a deal. So I'd say keep looking at us, keep following what we're doing, because we're going to be doing some heavy lobbying on e-privacy, and we need everybody's support to make sure that we have a positive outcome for the industry.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kim. Thank you very much. So a lot of very, very important stuff coming in this area. Keep a lookout because we are there to help you and guide you through all of this process. Thank you very much, Kim, again. And now I'd like to send you through to a little break with a little video, and then we'll be right back with some more interesting companies. Hi everybody, my name is Neda and I'm one of your co-hosts this year at the SMR TV. Welcome back. I am actually still in the GreenX exhibition here at SMR Congress, and I am at the OMI stand, and I am really, really excited to see our friends from Russia here once again. Tell us a little bit more about your company.
Yeah, hello everybody. First of all, I would like to congratulate SMR Congress with its 70th anniversary. It's funny that on my company we celebrate 10th anniversary this year, so we are like a grandchild of SMR, I suppose. Yes, and speaking seriously, we are the biggest online panel provider in Russia and ex-Soviet countries like Belarus, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, etc. I suppose that our company is the first one which has started to run online surveys in Russia, and of course we are trying to integrate as much online as we can in our market research industry. We are the biggest one, we are the best one, yes, and we are the only one ICO certificated. We do run a lot of digital research in Russia as well, and our chief, Alexander Shashkin, who is the SMR representative in Russia, he organizes a lot of conferences and research digital events. He invites a lot of foreign people just to share their experience, yes, just to show and to explain how it works in foreign countries, because unfortunately, of course, in Russia we don't have too much online and too much digital researchers, unfortunately again. Yeah, but nevertheless, crossing fingers that sooner it will be bigger and bigger and it will be growing up. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Svetlana. It's been a pleasure to meet you. And once again, this was on my OMI from Russia. OMI from Russia. It's been a long day here, but thank you so much. And we look forward to hearing more about and more success.
You are very welcome to our booth number 8, because here we help people to be closer to our culture, to taste some Russian specialty, Russian special sweets, and even to try on some Russian special dresses and to make photos. So number 8, our booth. You are welcome. Thank you.
It's fantastic. If you're here and you're watching this, come by. It looks beautiful. It tastes amazing. Just come over. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks. I have one more company that I want to show you today. Before I give it back to Gerrit and his guest. And we're here at Voxpop Me. Hi guys. Hi. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
I'm really excited to be here with you guys. Tell us a little bit about your company, Voxpop Me, to the people that maybe don't know much about you.
Of course. For us, we find that video contains this kind of great, rich storytelling process that's perfect for research, and it's really great to bring that consumer to life for a lot of our clients. The problem's been the pain point of how time consuming it is. So we've really focused on building an analytics platform that is able to theme code, sentiment code, and really find the insight in videos and aid our clients that way.
It's fantastic. How old is your company? How long have you guys been doing this for?
4.5 years now. So our first conference was actually here in Amsterdam about 4.5 years ago. So it's been a great journey since then. We opened up an office in the US about 2.5 years ago, and Sydney at the start of this year. So there's been some really great growth, and I think that's thanks to clients truly adopting video in new ways.
It's really exciting. So a very, very fresh and interesting new company. What are some of the latest the next new things that we can expect from you guys in the next year or so?
So we've just launched our brand new sentiment engine. So we're now able to take videos, categorize them by what's been discussed, and then apply sentiment scoring over the top of that. Very, very soon we'll also see facial coding come into play. So looking at engagement scores and sentiment levels based on kind of facial emotion that's coming through. And I think that whole emotion and kind of AI space is going to really start to evolve when as part of video. And I think that the CX space is quite an interesting opportunity for a video as well.
Really cool stuff. Definitely keep an eye on Voxpop Meet. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
And thank you. Gerrit, are you ready? Thank you.
Of course, Neda. We're always ready. What a fluent show. You don't want to know what it looks like here backstage. But anyway, I'm definitely ready here. And I'm joined by Niels, the current SMR president and co-founder of Insights Consulting and currently the managing director in the USA. But that's not why I have you here. In the meantime, Neda, you move over to the pink stage because welcome for joining us here at SMR TV. In about a minute, 10 minutes or so, we're going to switch to the pink stage where you're going to see a session about shiny new tools and specifically about virtual reality. But before we go there, I want to have a chat with you, Niels, because maybe some of our viewers have missed your opening address, which you, and this is a term you used yourself, kind of had used as a State of the Union to speak about your ambition for this association. Could you quickly summarize your most important points?
Sure. Basically, it centers around 4 points. Develop an identity, innovate, build trust, and then focus on people. And the reason why I came up with those is, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of innovations, and it sounds a little scary. But it's not much different. It's logical evolution. Maybe things are going a little faster now, and things are getting together. That's what happens. And what is it all about? It's first of all about building that identity, be proud, enlarge our footprint. Get rid of the boring, antiquated librarian etiquette or label that we have as researchers.
Do we still have that?
Yes, I think we do. I think
have we measured that? We should research.
There's been research around it. There's been a couple papers, and it's very clear. Even if you talk qualitatively with end clients, if you look at agencies, a lot of people are doing the same old thing because that's what they're used to doing. And so it's always good to think what's next. And it's really also about developing pride. I think when you look in marketing, a lot of marketeers are shouting around and have a little bit of big mouth, which is a good thing to have. If it's
they may overshout it a bit.
Yeah, but sometimes that helps too, because then there's always critics around. But researchers tend to find everything normal, and we're very bad marketeers of our own product, meaning generating consumer insights, and that's where the problem is. We need to develop that identity and be proud of what we do every day. This is an industry that's as big as the online gaming industry or the recorded music industry. So when you say that
in terms of revenue,
in terms of yes, annual spent, it's $71.5 billion. And when you say that to people, they go like, oh, I didn't realize. It's a good conversation starter.
Yeah. So first takeaway for you viewers, if anybody asks you, what are you doing?
I work in an industry that is as large as the online gaming industry. So yeah,
Niels said.
Yeah. So that's one. Be proud of what we do, and then we need to brand us. That's basically my point. The second thing is innovate. Because there's a lot going on at the client side. What I see now is that CMI departments and clients are reorganizing internally. They get their data from anywhere, whether it's Google, whether it's Philips. There's a lot of new parties that are generating data. Now, so agencies and suppliers need to also do that. Now, when I look at that, 15 years ago, it was agencies and suppliers that were shouting, take it online, take it digital, do it mobile, and clients were pushing it off. But now the force comes from within and from other industries. So CMI departments are reinventing themselves as we speak. And so we need to adapt to things. It has to be much more agile. It has to be quicker. Quality is being redefined because it's not only about good data, it's also about delivering enough data and faster. Yep. So if you combine that, if that is good enough, clients that's what they go with. So we need to look at ways of doing things in a more innovative way, and that's a very important second point.
And it's basically a call for a mindset, right? We have to have the ambition to become the leaders again.
Yes, absolutely. Experiment, do things and accept failure too in that perspective. So have that vision of innovation is very important, because marketeers, who are the ultimate end clients of the end clients, that's what they want. They want new stuff. They want to shine. They want to
need new stuff.
Yeah. So we need to do that as well. And then so that's the second point. The third point is build trust. And this is even goes broader than the MR industry, but the whole post-truth, alternative facts, things like that. Not all new data, not all big data, not all social media data are necessarily good. There's been issues with Facebook, overestimating its impact on video, for example. There's a lot of confusion among marketeers what a correlation means and what a causality is. Those are not the same things. So we need to be the safeguards of that from a methodological point of view, that what we bring to the table are the right data, that the analysis that we use are the right analysis, and that's something we can do. Researchers have been trained to do that. And then there's a second point in that, if you want to.
No, well, I'm just imagining. So what does it look like if I want to follow you in this ambition? What am I going to do differently tomorrow as a market researcher to establish this trust and help gaining this momentum?
Well, to be involved, if you are involved as of the beginning, if marketeers are using data and analysis, you could be, you play different roles. You play not a policing role, but a role of caretaker. Say, be careful if you do this. Have you put the data in that way? So you're helping, basically. You're a consultant. You're a business partner.
And I guess more proactively. Then.
Yes, as of the beginning, not when it's already done. And when I say as of the beginning, not to say you can't do this, but to say how can I help you do this, and how can I help you to do this better. So I think that's the thing. And there's also another aspect in that building trust and things like that, is there's this whole, the European Commission coming out with the GDPR and the e-privacy law, which is coming into effect.
We just talked to Kim Smouder extensively. He explained our viewers all about that.
Okay, so that's covered, and Kim is the man to do that, and SMR is really working very hard on that. So, but it is important, because a lot of people don't realize what's going on, and we can also build trust from that perspective. Trust that everything that we do is legal, and we can keep on doing what we're doing. And what we're doing is basically, that hasn't changed, and that's my fourth point, which is put people first. We're all looking at human beings, and big data is one emotionless stream of data points. But it's not because we're data rich that we are insights. We're still insights poor. That doesn't mean, that's not the same thing. We're actually data drunk. We're overwhelmed by
data obese is what Vanessa coined.
Yes, and we came to, in that discussion, we actually coined another term which say we need deep data, which is, it's all about the why matters. Because after every click, there's still for now, robots haven't taken over, so after every click there's still a human being. And that's the core of what we do, is understand humans. So for me, my State of the Union is, if you look at identity and pride, innovate, build trust, and people first, if we combine that, we can keep being relevant for marketeers and brand owners.
I think we can build this into the 4 Ps, but we'll do that at the bar tonight. But thank you very much for now. I think we're getting squeezed into a time schedule. So if you have any questions for Niels specifically, tweet them out, #SMRTV, and I'll come find you somewhere today to actually get them answered. For now, I'm switching back to Neda, because I think at the pink stage, things are about to start, right?
I think so, but they haven't started yet. So actually I've grabbed Joe from Swift here, and I would like to ask him a little bit more about his company and his experience here.
Yeah, absolutely, fire away. So Swift is a leading issuer of Visa prepaid cards, and we're here helping the market research folks and panel companies with their incentives. So instead of doing vouchers that can only be spent at a specific merchant, the Visa prepaid card can be spent like cash anywhere Visa is accepted. So we've had a lot of good feedback and a lot of people that are really excited about it.
That's really cool. How old is your company? How long have you guys been doing this?
So we just had our 20th anniversary. So we've been around a lot, and we're based in Chicago in the States, and it's very popular in North America, and it's now migrating to Europe as well as Asia. And so we're here, spreading the good news, if you will.
That's amazing, really exciting stuff. Congratulations on the anniversary as well. And you've been around for 20 years. What are some of the next things that we can expect from you guys?
Yeah, so our industry has really morphed from physical cards to digital, and a lot of companies are doing digital virtual cards, but we have a twist on it where the distribution is very digital, but the recipient can still choose whether they want a physical or a virtual card, which from a response perspective and from a panel loyalty perspective goes a long way.
It sounds really, really interesting. And you yourself you and your company, of course, have been here a few times at Congress. I understand that you are a regular attendee and exhibitor. What makes you come back? How are you experiencing everything?
Yeah, so we love SMR. As I said, we're based in North America, and our values kind of line up the same, meaning we're very much a global company, which SMR, even though it's European, is really becoming more and more global. And the people here and the organization are very forward-thinking and really want to know what's next and want that innovation and to stay ahead. And as an organization, we're one of the pioneers in our industry, and so we're constantly trying to evolve and innovate and stay ahead, and so it's kind of a match made in heaven.
Oh, that sounds really cool. So definitely, if you're here, definitely come by the stand at Swift, have a chat with Joe and his colleague, and we'll be looking forward to hearing more about your company. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.